John Bradshaw, self-help evangelist who called to the inner child, dies at 82. John Bradshaw, whose ideas about family dysfunction and the damaged inner child concealed within most adults made him one of the most popular and influential self-help evangelists of the 1990s, died on Sunday in Houston. He was 82. The cause was heart failure, his son, John Jr., said. Mr. Bradshaw drew on his unhappy childhood as the son of an alcoholic father, his own drinking problems and his work as a counselor to develop a set of explanations for myriad psychological ills. In his television shows on PBS and in books like Bradshaw on The Family, 1986, and Homecoming, Reclaiming and Championing Your Inner Child, 1990, he argued that millions of adults fail to achieve healthy relationships because they have never come to terms with the shame, self-blame and toxic guilt caused by parental abuse, physical or emotional. Until they learn to seek out and heal the hurt child within, he said, most adults stumbled through life, expressing their pain through self-destructive behavior and entering into unhappy love relationships with similarly damaged partners, each hoping to find in the other a loving, approving parent. In lectures attended by up to 7,000 people, and in smaller workshops, he led audiences through grief work, exercises intended to make them travel back in time and face themselves as they once were, small, frightened and alone. Mr. Bradshaw, a charismatic, theatrical speaker, held his audiences in thrall. His public appearances had the fevered atmosphere of a religious revival, and, lest he be trampled by adoring fans, he had to be ushered away from his performances by side doors. Attendees often turned up holding stuffed animals for comfort and, when Mr. Bradshaw pushed them to recall their childhood traumas, burst into tears, a first step toward reconciliation. The goal of this work, he often said, is to get you to come to peace with the past and finish it. John Elliott Bradshaw was born on June 29, 1933, in Houston. His father, John McCullough Bradshaw, was a clerk for the Southern Pacific Railroad and an abusive alcoholic who left his wife, the former Norma Elliott, when his son was 10. By the time he entered St. Thomas High School, Mr. Bradshaw was already drinking. After 2 years at the University of St. Thomas in Houston, he left to enter a seminary in Toronto run by the Basilian Fathers, a Roman Catholic order, hoping that religious discipline would straighten him out. It did not. He did manage, while in the seminary, to earn a bachelor's degree from St. Michael's College at the University of Toronto in 1958, whereupon the seminary sent him to teach at his old high school. He was fired after 2 years for reasons related to his drinking. He returned to Toronto and, after earning a bachelor's degree in sacred theology and a master's in philosophy from the University of Toronto, taught at the University of St. Thomas for a year. In 1964, just days before he was to be ordained, he left the Basilian order. When I walked out of the seminary, I was 31, but I was like a scared, frightened kid, he told People magazine in 1990. I had no place to live, no license, no clothes. I was just a lost soul.